as well as good evening. My name is Nix Marikuma, and today we are going to be doing Witchy reads. I just put up my volume, so hopefully you can hear me now. Anywho, normally I wear glasses. I know that it's a crime to read without them, but I normally don't read with glasses on. That's my confession for today. Anywho, it's been a really long time since I have done Witchy reads. About like a month or so, maybe a bit longer. As a lot of you guys know, I'm having some personal stuff that I'm dealing with, and due to that, this week is going to be really crazy. But I'm going to do my very best to post when I can, and it's kind of like almost 1:30 in the morning where I'm at, so we are going to be running by the moon and kind of playing in the sun, if you know what I mean. So when I say run by the moon or dancing with the moon, I mean we're going to be up at night and sort of up in the daytime. Where does sleep come in? I can't tell you. Anyways, power naps and a bit of caffeine and positivity, you can do anything. Alright, enough of my nonsense. Today we are doing Witchy Reads. We are still on The Everyday Psychic by Karen Harrison, which is a phenomenal author and witch. This book alone has a lot of information. Am I gonna say like it's the only one that you need? No, there are other books that you can also use. This is really good for beginner psychics and witches, as well as people who are experienced, or people like myself that are kind of like still learning a lot and sort of in the middle or the between, right? All right, so chapter 5 is what we're going to be reading, and this is all about psychic dreams. All right, please forgive me. My pronunciations on certain words are not going to be that great, but we are going to do our best and we are going to keep on trying. All right, chapter 5, Psychic Dreaming. A dream is defined as a series of images, ideas, emotions, and sensations occurring involuntarily in the mind during certain stages of sleep. The experience of dreaming is common to both humans and animals. We all have several dream scenarios each night, whether we remember them or not. We have all witnessed our pets dreaming as they bark or scramble their feet, and a semblance of running as they lay asleep. You see what I mean? My reading's a tad wonky or weird. Lay asleep in the corner. Not all dreams have important messages to impart to us. Many times, dreams simply allow us to sleep in a deep and completely relaxed physical state, while being entertained, in a sense, by the stories that unfold within our minds as we rest. But dreams can also be the language of the soul and the subconscious mind. The the images dream inhabitants or experiences and storylines of our dream can reveal our concerns, aspirations, fears, and hopes. A dream tends to include images, thoughts, scenarios, and emotions that are all experienced simultaneously during a person's sleep cycle. They are sometimes amazingly focused and vivid. Vivid is clear, or in detail, like HD. You're dreaming and you see your dreams in HD. I know you guys know what vivid is, but for those of you who don't know, don't worry. It took me some time to figure it out too. Other times are Other times they are vague, unclear, and confusing, with conflicting and baffling imagery or experiences. Our dreams can be filled with emotions of happiness or fear, enjoyment or dread, and we feel those emotions instantaneously without censor. During the dream, dreams indicate what? I'm really proud of myself because I'm not using a bookmark. Sometimes words, my mind goes really fast, so the words jumble. I think it's my ADHD fucking with me, man. Um, anyways, has is happening in our psyches and bring to light issues, inspirations, and knowledge that reside in our subconscious and deeper unconscious minds. In telling these stories, they often speak to us using the language of symbols. My God, ain't that true? I forgot to add, well, the beginning of this video, right? I'm gonna give you guys commentary. I love you guys. I'm giving you guys commentary. I want you to understand dreams can mean something. You can have visions or a message from your spirit guides, from your loved ones, from the higher divine power, from your inner self, right? You can have messages that way. They can come through in dreams. For example, right? I like snakes in the physical world. But anytime that a snake appears in my dreams, it always means that there's some flugazy, sus bullshit that's happening. Like somebody's out here doing the most. The same thing goes with alligators, crocodiles, and things of that nature. I love reptiles, but reptiles in my dreams always stand for something like really whack, really sus. On the other hand, if I dream about cats, right? Cats always show me the way, and in the physical world, they are like good omens to me. They are my lucky charm. That is not to say that if you dream of cats, that you're gonna have the same experience that I have. Cats could be an omen of warning or a heads up. They could be like depending on the color of the cat and depending how you feel in the dream and depending on what they mean to you and what they're kind of displaying or appearing themselves in the dream, whether it be a daydream or a real dream, right? That can give you a lot of information. A lot of times it will be confusing because the symbols don't make sense. And it takes time, I think, to like really understand how to interpret the dreams. I hate to say that I don't have any dream interpreting books, okay? So a lot of it is me like doing research and Googling it and kind of looking into this, that, and the third and being like, okay, well, this is how much the meanings are. And like books that I do have that interpret animals, right? They talk about them as omens. And I have to depictate the omens, whether they be good or bad. Your symbols are different. Somebody could have the same symbols in the same dream, but it could be an entirely different meaning. Be patient, take time, and also advise, okay, because this also helps with your clear senses and your psychic abilities. Start doing a dream journal. You don't have to write it down. My dream journal's on my phone, on my WhatsApp. I talk about it the moment that I wake up. I'll be like, okay, for example, right? I did one today. I said it is 10:30 or it's like 10:24 a.m. It is January 19th, Monday, 2026. I'm going to start from the last part of my dream to the beginning because rarely can I remember my dreams in chronological order, which means first, second, third, fourth, and so forth and so on. So I run it back. I talk about sometimes I talk about how everything felt, what was my feeling, what was my hearing, my smell, my sight, my touch. And what's really funny is that I have really bad eyesight, but in my dreams, I can fucking see. I can fucking see things. Now, once in a while, I dream myself with glasses. Like once I realize, oh my God, my eyes are not that good. I have glasses on. But for the most part, I don't think I have glasses. Another thing to point out, okay? I promise you, we're going to get back. We're going to get back to the witchy reads. I just want to let this out. on top of the fact of doing my dream journals, okay, I have noticed that some things that I put down in my dream journals have come to pass or have witnessed like past experience of others or affecting other people or in a present situation that will happen soon or is on its way or is happening now. Okay. I want you guys to understand senses are tingling. This is no. They come when they want to come. The information is not in your control all the time. Most of the time it's not in your control. I have not met a lot of psychics, and the ones that I kind of seen and talked to are like, yeah, bro, this bitch comes when it wants to come. Like, okay, all right, bet. Me going over there like Raven Baxter from That's So Raven, forcing myself to have that psychic connection and have all the things. The information comes, but like I have to have a feeling and a sense for it. Sometimes I can be like this, and sometimes it takes its time. You know what I mean? It's kind of wherever it feels like to do. I think as you start like understanding your abilities and how the messages are interpreted or brought to you and how you kind of go about it, you start kind of strengthening your skills a little bit more to the point where you can just get information or a feeling or something relatively or mildly quick. Okay? Make sure you listen to your intuition and your sensations. Again, also, I advise you guys to listen to my recordings on live YouTube. I have done the introduction of this book all the way up to chapter 4. Chapter 4 is all about spirit guides, spirit teachers, how to know between it like negative and aggressive and very like ugly energy or entity to like a really divine, calm, positive, easy energy that's healthy for you to be around or work with. Okay. All right. But then again, before we get back to the book, all right, I know, don't you love me putting these commentaries out for you guys? I can feel the affections and love. Anyways, enough of my bullshit, but in honesty, right? Do your dream journals. Do them. You can write them down. You can record them on your phone. Date your dates if you need to, if it makes it easy. I used to like record my voice, put a summary about it, and put the date and be like, all right, for January 4th of 2024, it was about superhero kids in a school, da da da, right? And then I can go back to about it and I'll be like, you know what? I remember dreaming about this. I remember seeing it somewhere. Huh, so that's what that was about. Groovy, bro. Cool beans and awesome sauce. Um, anyways, yeah. And it also helps strengthen your clear senses because now you kind of know between like a relaxed state when you're not stressed, when you're not overthinking how the sensation between like when a clear sense goes through touch or smell or sight or flavor or just sensing it in your third eye, right? How those things come to you. And when you feel them in the waking world, when you're alert, you'll be like, okay, this could be a message. This is something I should take in and see. So that way I'm like, okay, this is how my clear senses, the different types of clear senses, mind you, there's 8, how they come to me, how it feels, and how to go about it. All right. All right. Thank you guys for listening into my tips and tricks and Harry. Let's get back to the book, baby. So again, language of symbols. It is then our job to interpret those symbols and the emotions that they invoke or carry or bring during the dream in order to understand the meaning behind and the value of the dream information we have received. Dream interpretation is the process of assigning meaning to the events, symbols, images, feelings, and people that we experience in our dream states. That's right. Sometimes you have a vision of yourself. Other times you can have visions of other people, people you have never met, people you know, and other stuff of that nature. All right, let us see. Where? Key. In our dream state. In many ancient societies, dreaming was considered a supernatural communication or a means of divine intervention, an important message from the gods or goddesses, divine entities, spirits, or higher beings, or from spirits that needed to be seriously listened to. This message would be unraveled by the temple priesthood, who were gifted in the interpretation of dreams, symbolisms, and the emotional response of the dreamer to those symbols. In Greece and Egypt, there were sleep or incubation temples dedicated to, I pray you guys forgive me for the mispronunciation. I love the gods, goddesses, my head itches. All right, let me just fold it. Sorry, book. Temples dedicated to Asclepius, Asclepius, the god of healing and medicine. Asclepius, I think. I apologize. I feel like I missed the name. I apologize to them. The god of healing and medicine. These temples were used by the populace as a sacred place to receive physical and mental healing, using their dreams as a guide to understanding the basis of their ailments, illness, or sickness, or what troubles them. Through practice of chanting, fasting, meditation, and ritual bathing, the patients would be prepared for those of y'all who think my voice is soothing, I'm soothing myself to sleep. Hey yo, bro. Anyways, I do a lot of like corny jokes, so y'all gonna roll with it because my personality is just a bit odd. I'm quirky. Anyways, and ritual bathing. The patients would be prepared for the dream experience and led into a trance-like state by the priestess of the temple. By the priest or priestess of the temple. The patient would move from the trance into a sacred, healing sleep state and report the events, images, and feelings they experienced upon awakening. This dream information was used to determine what the foundation of the illness or imbalance was, and to help the priest or physician decide upon the best type of treatment for the individual. Learning to remember and interpret your dreams can help you discover the hidden messages that you receive as you sleep, giving you insight and guidance into what is happening within you and your soul at deeper levels. Remembering your dreams and interpreting their events and symbols will help you comprehend the psychic nudges you are privy to in your sleep and give you information about things within yourself that you may want to change or pay particular attention to. As you work to make events in your life better or to enhance the opportunities that are waiting at your doorstep, over the last century or so, Various schools of psychology have offered differing theories about the meaning of dreams and why we dream in the first place. One theory is that dreams are simply a relaxing product of sleep and have no intrinsic heavens to Betsy's, guys, heavens to Betsy's. Diablo que? Dios, lo siento. I'm sorry. Que diablo, what the hell? Dios, I believe, is God in Spanish. Curry is just something I say at the end. I don't think it has actual one with us. So that's what fell out. And in you go. I collect fortune telling things, like little paper fortune tellers. And I like to put them on my books and my things, so that's what fell out as well. Some black smudge. You know what? I ain't gonna fucking fight with the ring light. Phone holder. I ain't doing it. Nope. Let us see. Babies. There we are. One theory is that dreams are simply a relaxing product of sleep and have no intrinsic deeper meaning or use. Another theory is that through the experience of dreaming, a person lets go of the concerns of their day-to-day lives, allowing them to refresh their mental and emotional perspectives while resting the body. The theory that dreams help to relieve the inner workings of a person and their psyche was brought to public attention with the 1899 publication in Germany of Sigmund Freud's arguably most famous and influential book, The Interpretation of Dreams. It was with this published work that the modern Western world regained its interest in the meaning and values of dreams. Me personally, I think that dreaming helps you deal with issues that you don't deal with in the waking world, as well as allow you to have, visions and messages from the higher above, as well as just something to relax your mind. And again, just kind of clear yourself out. We live in a really stressful and artificial world. So if you can just recharge your mind, your body, your soul, and your heart by dreaming and resting, have at it. Okay, sleep is important. Dreamings are beautiful. But again, different theories for different things. Different people think in different forms. So all ideas and thoughts are welcome. All right. In his book, Freud postulates a tool in the understanding the underlying psychological health and I'm sorry guys, I don't know if it's my eyes, but this thing keeps on fucking flickering. Stick with me, baby. Come on, work. Yeah, my ring light is not used to being up this late. D's grace, man. God's grace. Alright. Now let's continue. Psychological health and several clinical case studies of patients with whom he was working and explained why he believed the activities within their dreams had an important bearing in their inner psychological world. Perot writes in writes in the introductions of the interpretation of dreams. In the following pages, I shall demonstrate that there exists a psychological technique by which dreams may be interpreted, and that upon the applications of this method, every dream will show itself to be a sensible psychological structure which may be introduced into an assignable place in the psychic activity of the waking state. I shall furthermore endeavor to explain the processes which give rise to the strangeness and obscurity of the dream, and to discover through them the psychic forces which operate whether in combination or opposition to produce the dream. In other words, he is going to, or the author, she, either one or they, will explain how psychic activity or psychic powers, psychic gifts, right, can be interpreted or combined with dreaming. Again, you can get signs and messages through dreams. A dream can tell you what's going to happen, what has happened, or what will come. And you just have to learn how to listen to it as well as interpret the messages that it's giving you. Your dream may be giving you a new opportunity, and it shows you through, like, okay, I had a dream once about a past, present, and future person. It was the same person, and they had red hair and vanilla skin and freckles. And the past person was a child, right? And the present person was a person stuck in bed. And the future was somebody standing by the door. It showed different signs of different viewpoints of the past, present, and future. Mind you, I never met this person. Okay? But it showed itself to me in those ways. It was saying that, hey, sometimes you're kind of stuck in the past of like your childhood. You may be feeling low energy in your present, and you need to be able to get up so that way you can meet your future self and go after new opportunities and things. If you don't get up and get unstuck, you are not going to go anywhere. You know what I mean? And each self was talking to one another. The past was talking to the present, and the future is talking to the present and the child, like past. And so, even though it was kind of an odd dream, it was standing for something, right? This again, example. I wouldn't go over there and be advising you guys to talk about your dreams unless it's with somebody that you trust, because not everybody is sending you good energies, and some people may be trying to, like, I'm going to say it this way, okay? I'm going to say it plain and straightforward. Don't think that I'm crazy. There are people that will get into your dreams, send you negative energies to attack you in a more vulnerable state, okay? You can be affected by negative energies that feel heavy while you're sleeping, and you can feel attacked, overwhelmed, dreadful, and panicking and scared and very numb and paralyzed, okay? That can happen. That's why I advise you guys, don't talk about your dreams to other people. Talk about it to those who are very trustworthy, those people who you can really confine yourself into. And also, please, for the love of the gods and goddesses and all that is divine, do a dream journal. Make a dream diary. Voice record it on your phone. I do mines to myself on my phone. I message my dreams to myself and everything, so that way I have it on my mind. Understand also that the sign may not be a vision. It could be like, hey, you had a really stressful day at work. They were giving you lots of paperwork. You've been worked, overwhelmed, bombarded, and stressed the fuck out. So when you go to sleep at night, you are dreaming about paperwork and your boss screaming at you and being the only one working. And it's just for you to like deal with the problem in your dream. So that way, when you wake up from the dream, you feel confident that you can tackle it in the waking world. Not all the time does that work. Okay, nightmares just cause more stress and more like, oh my God, I haven't slept. I've been whacking, like how you say, I've been freaking out because of this, that, and the third. You know, the stress of the waking world just puts on my dream world, and I'm just like, what the fuck? You know, sometimes it's a warning to let you know that, hey, this person or this thing or this energy or this situation may not be the one for you. Don't do it. Don't press go. Don't collect the 500. Don't stick around for the plot twist. It's not meant for you. It could mean that something good is happening, and that if you do this way, or you go that way, or you follow this type of omen or that type of symbol or whatever it may be, good things are to come. Pay attention to how you feel in the dream, what the certain symbols and situations make you think or feel, or the thoughts that come to you about it, and then make sure that you write it down, record it. It takes time to start remembering your dreams, and it takes time to get into a habit of voice recording your dreams, your daydreams, your visions, if you will, right? But it is important. By recording them, you're going to be strengthening your ability to remember and stay lucid in your dream. Okay? Lucid dreaming is being able to be aware that you're dreaming while you're still in your dream. Think of it as Neo, right? From the Matrix, being completely aware that the Matrix exists and that this is just a different form of reality. Okay? Also, for my people who astral project, if you're a first timer astral projector, please learn how to do grounding techniques. Me personally, I have like my labradorite, and I used to wear obsidian to help me ground and stay connected because I would astral project into weird ass places and weird ass energies and things. And I'm just like, okay. The cool thing about it is that you get to see yourself outside your body and kind of be able to also get outside your dream and have lucid dreams. Like you're fully aware of what's going on. You can kind of roam and explore. The bad thing is, if you're not careful, you can have different energies and things try to get into your body, okay? This is your body. The air came out, right? This is your soul. You are not in your body. You're outside your body. You can see your body. And if you're doing it in dreams, you can see outside your dream and still be in it. Okay, I'm probably describing it a bit wrong, but this is more of like the crash course definition. Okay, if you are outside your body and you're not careful, something else can get into your body. Something else can attach itself to you. So it's important to have things that help you stay grounded and protect your aura and energy and spirit while you are again outside, while you're experiencing things outside your body, outside yourself, so to speak. Okay, I'm pretty sure in this book we will talk about astral projection. Astral projection. If not, there are other books that I have that we will be reading that does talk about it in great detail. Okay. Um, it's a superpower. I would say it's really cool. You can learn how to do it, but do it carefully. Okay. Because I have like gotten myself into places I should have not been into. And because like I was new to it and I'm still like relatively like I know some of it. I still have a lot to learn. Yeah, you don't want those kind of experience, guys. It's not fun. It's scary as fuck. Okay, I'm happy that it came back to me, but like, there's so many ways where it could have gone wrong. So, I have, again, my way of grounding myself, my way of just kind of protecting myself. You don't have to have crystals, okay? You can learn how to ground yourself and protect your energies and things with different types of techniques. Me personally, I like using crystals, I like using herbs. But again, different styles, different ways, different things to help you with the same stuff, all right? That's the beauty of witchcraft and magic and spirituality. There's duality and mutability with it. You can be diverse. Obviously, you have to stick to the basics, though, okay? The basics are the foundation. How you design the foundation is up to you, but you want a strong structure. All right, my babies. We partake and continue. In this passage, Beirut was using the term psychic in the sense of the inner motivating soul, not psychic work as we are in discussing it in the page. I'm sorry, in the pages of this work. As part of his theory and understanding and interpreting dreams, as part of his theory of understanding and interpreting dreams, he describes two different classifying components of dreams: their manifest contexts, made up images, storylines, thoughts, and emotion, and the latent contact, which is the interpretation of the experienced and energies present in the dream. Those components, which represent the underlying and perhaps hidden psychological meaning of the dream. His work captured the interest and imagination of the professional world of psychiatry, as well as the public at large, and became a core resource used then and today is psychological therapy. While some modern researchers suggest that our dreams don't serve any real purpose, considering the amount of time we spend dreaming, I would also like to add, I'm sorry, and I'm getting in and out. I would like to add to you guys that the time in your dreams versus like the reality of it is completely different. Dream time is different from this world time, okay? A few hours in your dream could be like months. A 2-year dream, okay? It could be like 5 hours in, and you could have only had like a few hours, like 3 hours dreaming. You could feel like you've dreamt about like 2 weeks in. Time there does not resonate in this world. And I feel like, I don't know if it's true or not, for me it is. When I try to look at time or dates in my dream, they don't add up. You cannot see it clearly. It doesn't make sense. It's very like warped and wonky. I think it just depends on people, or maybe like on how you put your energy into it. But like time, for sure, without a doubt, no cap, real talk on business, does not work tailored to this time. Like this reality, the physical realm, is not the same time zone as the dream realm and the subconscious and unconscious realm of reality. It does not add up. I could dream for like 10 hours or 7, and I would feel like I've been in my dream for like months. Like I've dreamt and I slept all day. Turns out 5 or 6 hours have passed by. Okay, time don't work the same way. Dates, months, years, and days don't work the same way. I don't know why that is, but it's real funky. And sometimes you don't show up as yourself, you show up as other people. You kind of play different avatars, is what I call them. You're seeing viewpoints as another person, or you're just an observer of another person, you know what I mean? And it's really interesting. Yeah, food for thought, right? Or thought for food, I think. I probably said it right the first time. I always know how to mix up the sayings and jumble them. Anywho, we're gonna go back to, our witchy ways. The fancy one. Psychological therapy. While some modern research suggests that our dreams don't serve any real purpose, considering the amount of time we spend dreaming, there we are. It only makes sense that dreaming is important to our physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual well being. And certainly, ancient sources have always contended that dreams are an important source for communing with and obtaining psychic wisdom from the divine as a source of prophecy and in understanding the state of a human being and their psyche. In ancient Greece, the interpretation of dreams was part of the diagnosis of the underlying foundation of an illness by physicians and farther and the father of modern Western medicine. Hippocrates regularly used his interpretations of his patients' dreams to help direct him in their treatment. In other words, somebody was trying to play God and fuck around with a bunch of people. Here's my thing. I know I'm coming back in and out. I believe in medicine. Okay, let me say it like that. I believe in medical medicine, chemical or herbal. I feel like if you're gonna diagnose somebody, yes, you can use dreams, but also you have to use symptoms and things. You have to understand what's going on with them. But again, it was way back in the day, and it was a different world, and it's a different form of thinking and things of that nature. A lot of things people didn't know, and the things that people did know was not all that together. Some of it was pretty awesome, but some of it was, it was something else. Anywho, if you guys drop by on my live, say hi, and I'll say hi back. When I put my head down or look this way, I don't see the comments. But I appreciate, dropping by. Anywho, the father of modern Western medicine, Hippocrates regularly used his. I'm sorry. Oh my days. This is okay. Okay. My bad. They're not saying hypocrite as a hypocrite. They're saying this person's name. Hippocrates regularly used his interpretations of his patients' dreams to help direct him in their treatment. By interpreting your dream, you can gain a deep understanding about what your subconscious mind is bringing to the attention of your consciousness, everyday mind. This understanding will help you work out problems, solve situations, gain creative insight, and tap into your own intuition. All of the symbols, people, places, or events that you experience while in a dream state create some kind of reaction in you. As you interpret your dream, pay particular attention to the symbols that get the strongest emotion reaction in your. They are the key. In you. They are the keys to the meaning of the dream. But it is not only the interpretation of your dreams that bring value to working psychically with dream production information. There are many ways to sorry, purposefully and intentionally use your dreams to obtain knowledge. Yeah, we're going to start using this bookmark now. We're a page and 1/3 away. Purposely and intentionally use your dreams to obtain knowledge about future events, to make the deliberate changes within your subconscious mind for more success in your life. It to transform blocks such as fear or lack of confidence into strength, to open your psychic skills and awareness to greater depths. Yeah, hold on. My knees are fucking killing me. I feel so old on the inside. Oh, freaking ancient. There we were. Greater depth and accuracy to make contact with spirit guides and your higher self, and much more. Again, if you want to learn more about spirit guides, spirit teachers, and things of that nature, go to my live video on YouTube. Okay, on here in this account. Go on my lives and go back and see like chapter 4 of Witchy reads. Okay, it's on the titles and stuff. Make sure you come from the beginning of this book to the end so that we all can get all information that you need. Be warned, it is really long, and I was very stern on that reading. I was like, y'all better not be going out here doing the most, talking to spirits that y'all have no business talking to. You don't know what's on the other side. Don't do it. Don't be like those people in the horror films. Let's go play with the haunted things. Let's not. Let's not. Let's be wise. This is above. If it's above your head, don't do it. We're not about to do all this madness. 2026 has been madness enough, man. Believe it. Anywho, the information that we can access in our dreams is provided by our subconsciousness. Our subconscious in a very efficient way, often addressing multiple issues on multiple topics, all in one dream storyline. A single dream can warn you of health dangers, predict the future, point out personality flaws or credits, and present a solution to a current problem. Some dreams that you experience are worthy of repeated analysis. I feel like somebody's gonna ask me, what about repeating dreams? Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm gonna apologize throughout, like just breaking out of it. I feel like when it comes to repeating dreams, I think it's something that you should really take note in and really listen to. There's a reason why it's going on repeat, okay? Make sure you pay attention to it. It's trying to draw your attention, it's trying to get you to understand the message. When I was younger, I had a lot of them. Like I would have dreams that would come true, but it would always be the repeating ones. Nowadays, anything that repeats on its own, okay, it's like a natural repeat. Like somebody will say something, another person will say the same thing, and same thing happens with a different person. I was like, okay, this is something that is a sign that I need to heed to and I need to listen to. Maybe there's going to be a good sign. It's going to be one of those warnings. It's going to be kind of like, hey, the good news is this. The bad news is watch out for that, right? Repeating dreams have meanings, in my opinion. Okay, and I feel like if you're going to be a psychic, or if you're going to be a witch, if you're going to be a spiritual practitioner, be comfortable with being weird. Be comfortable with being the out of box thinker, the visionary, the artist, the creator, the whatever. Be okay with not being up to society's standpoint. You're supposed to stand out and be unique. And this is just one of those things. It's okay, baby. You will find your tribe with your vibe. You're welcome in this business, you know what I mean? Like this tribe and vibe, because again, miracle healing is for everyone. There's no such thing as bigotry and hatefulness, except for a certain few. But yeah, most people deserve love. All right. Not psychic work as we are just. Hold on. Oh, I'm sorry. I went back. Silly me. Had a millennial moment. Some dreams that you experience are worthy of repeated analysis. Just because you can come up with two or three interpretations, that does not mean that only one interpretation can be right. In fact, they could all easily be right as you apply your analysis and intuition to all of the issues the dream may be illuminating, showing you, describing, bringing to the light. Sit over here. Oh, my God. Fucking sound like the Rice Krispie. Okay. Okay, you guys can still see me read. Let's see. Okay, intuition to all of the issues the dream may be illuminating. Scientists have been studying dreams intentionally for the last century and a half, post postulating differing theories. So they are coming together, I would say more or less, and they're breaking down theories and ideas of what is behind dreaming and what's the real meaning of it. That must be really fun. I know that sounds super sarcastic, but I really mean that. Like, that sounds kind of like a really cool thing. You know what I mean? So, yeah, have been studying dreams intentionally for the last century and a half, postulating differing theories about the value and purpose of dreaming. They have sought to explain why we dream and what the purpose of dreams may be. We spend 1/3 of our lives in sleep, but we have not reached a conscientious, a conscientious, conscientious, conscientious about why we dream. Today's scientists have discovered how to record the brainwave energy patterns of people during their sleep cycles using EEG, which stands for heaven to fucking Betsy. That's not what it means, but like we're about to try to fucking break this down. Electroencephalography. Electroencephalography. Okay? Machines. The brain's electrical wave patterns, frequencies reveal that there are 5 different brainwave stages that occur during the process of sleep, each correlating to a specific state of being Okay. Ah, there we are. Process of sleep, each correlating to a specific state of being in the individual. While moving into the earliest phase of sleep, stage 1, a person is still relatively awake and alert. The brain still produces beta waves. If you want to know about beta, alpha, theta, and I think omega, there are four brain waves or brain wavelengths that tie into your like psychic ability. Chapter 1 and 2 have it. Okay? Chapter 1 and 2. Go. I know I'm not trying to sound mean, but like go back onto my lives on YouTube and watch those videos. It explains a lot. Okay? Explains a lot. Alright, let's see. As the process of the brain begins to slow down and relax, the beta brainwaves slow to an alpha. I guess the alpha I was thinking about. Transition from the waking brain state into the state of sleep. The beginning of the sleep cycle. And it is a light stage of semi-consciousness. It is during this time that people sometimes experience what feels like unusual, vivid sensations, such as the feeling of suddenly falling. These are known as hypnagogic, hypnagogic. Alright, we're gonna try. We're gonna try to pronounce this. Yo, bro. To find where I was. Ah, hypnagogic, hypnagogic, hypnagogic hallucination. Hypnagogic. Hypnagogic. I butchered it like 5 times, but I tried. I gave it a go. Alright, hallucinations. The alpha brainwave state then deepens into a very slow frequency that a brainwave state, which is the transition into stage 2 of the sleep cycle. At this point, the brain begins to produce rapid bursts of rhythmatic activity, although the body's temperature begins to decrease and the heart rate slows. Next, the deepest brainwave state begins to occur with stage 3 sleep. As we transition into the delta state, with the slowest brainwave frequency, this transitions into in a full delta brainwave pattern, deeply unconscious and unaware of our surroundings. The last part of the sleep cycle is stage 5. Okay. Sorry, I think I may have kind of skimmed it because I was about to be like, hold on, cockpit a second. I read stage 3, not stage. How we get from stage 3 to stage 5, guys. Que diablos. Okay, delta state with its slowest brainwave frequency. This transition into the delta brainwave brings us into stage 4 states, and we are in full delta brainwave patterns, deeply unconscious and unaware of our surroundings. The last part of sleep is the stage 5, And this is where we experience our dreams intensely. In this level of unconsciousness, we are in the state called REM, rapid eye movement. Sleep, which is characterized by eye movement under the eyelids, fast breathing, okay, and increased brain activity. Excuse me, guys, I have the hiccups. During this last cycle, this might be having to be a part two. We'll see how far I can go. Okay, I think after I'm done with this page, I will put it and save it, and I will read it later on today for you guys. Okay, and increased brain activity. During this last cycle, the brain and our other organs, like the kidneys and liver, become more active, while our muscles become more relaxed. We begin to dream because this increased brain activity, but our voluntary muscles have become almost paralyzed. Our brains are aware of the action within the dream, but we seldom physically move while in this deeply relaxed state, unless the event in our dreams becomes such that our brains direct us into a fight or flight response, which abruptly, quickly, brings us back into a state of consciousness and with adrenaline flooding in our bodies. So, in other words, right, some of us sleep talk. Okay, what sleep talking is like the name. You talk in your sleep. Sometimes, if you're having a really bad dream and it's really intense, you can end up mumbling or speaking out in a physical way, right? But you're still dreaming, you're just speaking it out. Some people sleepwalk. Again, just like the name, walking in sleep. If you are dealing with sleepwalking or somebody that does that, if I remember correctly, do not wake them up right away. Try to follow them and make sure that they're okay and guide them softly and gently back home or back to where they are. Okay? Some things can be so intense that it makes us do things in a physical realm instead of, I'm about to say the spiritual realm, girl, please. I feel like the spiritual realm and the dream realm are very close, if not the same in some type of way, right? But I'm still learning those realities and realms a bit. So yeah. Anyways, it's nothing to be ashamed of if you sleep talk and sleepwalk. I know somebody who gets like really stressed and they will end up, depending on how bad their stress is or how extreme the dream may be, they will get up and walk and talk. And they had this kind of like, they had the sleep talking since they were a kid, but the sleepwalking kind of happened in their mid 20s. And I'm like, okay, there's no shame in it. I'm like, we all have our things. Some of us move when we're sleeping, some of us talk, some of us walk. It happens. Don't feel ashamed, it's normal. Okay? Whether this is something you can do and be able to watch over you, make sure that you're safe. Alright. And away we go. Vocalizing and with adrenaline flooding our bodies, when we begin to develop the conscious ability to dream, we enable ourselves to use our dream state and their stories to purposefully fashion and foretell the future with precognitive belief, being aware, dreaming, to gain access to the wisdom of a spirit guide or loved one who is deceased, to discover our past lives, to stimulate the memory, to retrieve information, we have been trying to recall in our waking life to spend telepathic dreams, to send telepathic dreams to others to encourage creativity and awaken our psychic talents and to receive psychic messages from omens, our guides, and the divine. Throughout history, people have precognitive dreams, had precognitive dreams that have revealed events to come. Perhaps one of the most famous examples is in the book of Genesis, in the story about Joseph, son of Jacob and Rachel, born in Canaan. He was known to his family to have a talent for precognitive dreams and their and interpretations. Sold into slavery by his brother, he arrived in Egypt to serve Potiphar, the captain of the Pharaoh's guard. He served as a supervisor of the household until he was falsely accused by the Potiphar's wife of trying to rape her. He was thrown into prison and remained there for several years. During his time in prison, several of his prophetic dreams became known for their accuracy. One night, Pharaoh had a pair of dreams which awakened him in a panic. He felt a great dread about the dreams he had experienced, and he was desperate to understand what they meant. One of his dreams featured 7 lean cows, lean, skinny, or toned, that rose up from the waters of the Nile to to devour, consume, or eat 7 fat cows. The other dream was of 7 withered, rotten shafts of grain, which devoured 7 fat, succulent shafts. None of the Pharaoh's advisors had been able to interpret these dreams for him, but one of the Pharaoh's servants remembered hearing about Joseph and spoke of his skills in dreaming and dream interpretation to Pharaoh. Joseph was summoned before the court and interpreted the dream as foretelling that there would be 7 years of great abundance, which would be followed by 7 years of devastating famine. He advised Pharaoh to store surplus grain during the year of abundance, and Pharaoh did indeed. These events took place as Joseph had interpreted, and in his gratitude, Pharaoh appointed Joseph vizier of Egypt, with responsibilities to help rule Egypt. In precognitive dreaming, or lucid or vivid dreaming, I would say lucid dreaming. You know that you're dreaming, but you're aware of it, and you can kind of, get more info out of it. The images, the story, and the emotions within the dreams are all important to its clear integration. Like the story above, many precognitive dreams give their information and symbols, not as direct blow by blow, step by step, thing by thing, 1, 2, 3, and ABC is not the thing of it. Not likely most of the time. It's going to be riddles, telling the events exactly as they will transpire in the physical world. Sometimes dream dictionaries may be initially helpful to interpreting images and events. Dream interpreting books, pamphlets, and stuff of that nature. I am going to totally get some myself, but it helps. It also saves you from having to Google it and doing immense research, because you can't just Google everything and find it on Pinterest. Pinterest is cute,
but it's not informational. You can get some things from it that are really helpful, but not everything. You know what I mean? All right. There's a lot of fucking here in this book. Um, blow by blow, telling of events exactly as they will transpire in the physical world. Sometimes dream dictionaries may be initially helpful in interpreting images and events in a dream, but ultimately you will find their help to be limited. There are some symbols that are considered archetypal, meaning that they tend to be interpreted the same way in all cultures. Dreaming of a mother is a symbol, for example, which signify nurturance, love, caretaking, and life giving in every culture. The sun tends to be a symbol of life, health, and success uni- universally, but not all symbols are universal. In fact, most aren't. When you are working to interpret images, events within a dream, you will need to decide with the symbol as a personal meaning for you or not. Before pulling out your dream dictionary, for example, in the Western culture, the dog tends to symbolize friendship, protection, and loyalty. But if you were attacked and frightened by a dog in your childhood, for you, a dog might symbolize danger. Depending on how you react to dogs emotionally, that symbol in your dream could have different meaning in the Muslim world. Dogs are seen as dirty, lowly creatures, not family members as they are in the West. If you are a devoted Muslim, dreaming about a dog, the dog image would tend to symbolize disgrace or lack of adherence to a religious law, not loyalty or friendship. Keep a dream journal. What did I tell you guys? Dream journals are important. You can write it down or you can record it. You can even make it into a comic book if you want to, but you have to make sure that you're getting it to where you can understand it. You know what? Diablos K and K Diablos, man, there's a lot of weird ass shit that's going on. Okay. To success will help you for success. Okay, integral to successful psychic dreaming, regardless of the type of dream experience or psychic dream goal you are working on. Keep a dream journal. Keeping a dream journal will help you to gain understanding of what the symbols you receive in a dream signify. You will begin to write your own personal dream dictionary by recording the images, scenes, animals, people, and events you are experiencing in the dream state in your dream journal, along with the recording of any types of images you receive. Write down the feeling and emotions that accompany them. The feeling that you get will help you understand what each object, place, or person symbolizes. Leave plenty of space on each page of the journal to enable yourself to add more information, interpretation, and knowledge as your dream expertise grows with time and use. Later, when you are fleshing, fleshing out, fleshing out the dream details, you may also wish to engage in a practice of automatic writing to allow your subconscious mind and your guides to provide additional insight. You can do this in the pages and of the dream journal. Or if you wish, you can transcribe your dream journal into a document on the computer. Precognitive dreaming can take place at a time when something important is about to happen and your subconscious mind peaks. Alright, I know that I'm leaving you guys on a cliffhanger, but like I said before, we will read later on today. It is currently 2:49 a.m. in the morning. So stay tuned and follow and subscribe if you like what I do and enjoy Witchy as well as my TED Talks. I have 2 TED Talks. I will have Sensational Talks, which is all about queer, LGBTQ, information, sexuality, like self-expression and identifying yourself as you, right? All those kinds of things will be on Pensational Talks, which will come most likely the year 2028 to 2029. Just when like I get into a more queer friendly kind of place, okay? Because where I'm at right now, that doesn't really feel like. And like I put on my account, I stand for all and any people. I'm not really believing in bigotry and hatefulness and hatred types of vibes. If that's the case, buy this 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 platform, this business, these videos are not for the haters. It's important to love and accept everybody because everybody deserves the right to be themselves. Anyways, other than that, we have 2 TED Talks. The first one is Dark Minds and Butterflies, and I'm very happy to say we are going to have some very great and groovy guests that I'm collaborating and working with. Hopefully by February, we will be having guests on YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok lives. Talking about any and all subjects. And for Verar, which is mainly about emotions, how to express yourself, and also, just be able to do it through music, art, poetry, and things of that nature. Anywho, thank you guys for 77 subscribers. Much appreciated. We have now 1K and then some videos for you guys to watch and see. I'm going to be finishing up the rest of the Aries love reading, hopefully later on today when I have time, right? But yeah, anyways, slay the day, be happy and be gay. Stay safe, and I love you guys. Peace out. Bye. Have a